welcome to Africa at Play.
Thank you so much. I love the introduction. And thanks, and I just want to say good afternoon to your listeners as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've got way more millions than I could imagine across the continent that are listening.
I know.
And, being deep.
Beautiful, our beautiful continent.
Our beautiful continent. And we're deep into the FIFA World Cup. From your perspective, SABC's coverage, the satisfaction levels have been incredible, multi-platform coverage. What has it been like from your perspective, from the viewer's perspective, and as well as listeners on radio?
It's been really quite exciting. I mean, you look at the numbers. With us, what is important is how many people out there are we reaching, how many people are able to access this content. And in South Africa, only between SABC 1 and SABC 3, especially when Bafana Bafana are playing, I think we've delivered more than 30 million people watching these matches on SABC. The excitement is really everybody in South Africa is quite excited now, especially because our team qualified for the last 32, but under normal circumstances, or generally, I really think as SABC we've been able to deliver on what we committed on, whether it's television, radio, or digital. We really have been there and making sure that we share all the stories, and not just the African stories, but all the African teams that are involved, the 10 countries that are involved in the FIFA World Cup. We made sure that we share all those stories on all our platforms.
And storytelling is such a gift that we have here on the continent. And for the public broadcaster to carry events like the FIFA World Cup, that is so important. And yet, to the work that goes behind the scenes to acquire the rights for something like this is huge.
It's such a huge job. It's not an easy thing to be able to achieve, and that's why when we acquire these rights, we always boast about it and go around and tell everybody who wants to listen that the SABC was able to cover to secure the rights of the FIFA World Cup. I know a lot of people are complaining that there's been complaints that we claimed that we were going to broadcast the FIFA World Cup. We are broadcasting, and as the SABC, we've always been upfront to say we secured free-to-air rights, because that was the only thing that's available for free-to-air or public broadcasters in the continent. Sub-Sahara, we only have for the free-to-air right, it's only 34 matches, and the advantage with that is that every day, anybody who doesn't have a pay TV decoders are able to access these on the free-to-air stations, and every day there's a match on your television screen, and we've committed and we delivered on that, and we are still delivering on that. And I just want to encourage people to know, to understand that the rights thing is a very competitive space. So for us to be able to secure these rights, it's a great achievement, and it's not cheap. Securing broadcast rights is very, very expensive, and hence the rights holders will split on free-to-air and pay TV, because they're making their money with the pay TV. So the pay TV channels have all the 104 matches. They are able to broadcast every other match, but we're only doing 34. Now people are able to follow these stories. It's not like they don't get to know what is happening with other groups, even if they're not watching on those matches. And with us, the SABC, we really made sure that our African brothers get to see all these matches. The selection of the matches that we've been broadcasting, we've been making sure that we tell the African stories, and every other game that we've tried to do is really teams that are involved in African teams. And we're quite really excited about the fact that out of the 10 countries that represented Africa, there's only one that is definitely out. And the other 9, 6 has qualified, and the other 3 will get to know tonight and tomorrow morning what is happening.
Absolutely. So you can see the future of African football bright, the future of sports broadcasting across Africa incredible. You've got a multi-platform approach, SABC Plus, digital content, you've got highlights, social engagement. Take us through it all.
So we were very deliberate when we secured this right, and the planning that was involved. We wanted to make sure that even if you are not a football lover, we will give you those kind of stories that you would also want to watch. So we have magazine shows that just focusing on lifestyle side of football, just to target those viewers that don't like watching football, but they want to know the stories that are happening around it. And then we have highlights. We have a review show on every evening on SABC 3 and SABC 2 to make sure that those that have missed the games can be able to watch and catch those matches or the highlights of those matches. And then we also made sure that we carry on broadcasting the live games on our channels and making sure that we broadcast these matches on, like I say, SABC 1, all the matches that involve Bafana Bafana, we cover on SABC 1 and SABC 3. And then in addition to all the shows that we have, obviously our news teams also are going out to cover these stories and making them available on our digital platforms. I mean, our Facebook has grown, and SABC Plus. What I love about SABC is that we're making sure that we simulcast these matches even on SABC Plus. I mean, the other morning I didn't switch my TV set on, but I watched the Bafana Bafana match on my cell phone, which is in comfort of my bed, and watching this at 3 a.m. We celebrated at the end. By 5 o'clock, we were happy as South Africans that our team qualified to the last 32.
I think happiness personified. We were just so happy. I have to tell you, we've got a big night tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central African time. I wanted to ask you to give a kind of safe but upbeat prediction that you would want to go with.
I must be honest with you. I've always been, I am a South African through and through, and I always support my team. And I believe that we will be able to beat Canada. If it happens that we draw at the end of the match, we are definitely going to win on penalties. But I really hope we get to score 90 minutes. I mean, we realize that actually one goal can be so important. So I'm not going to push the guys to say I expect him 2 goals, but I really would love them to win 2-0, especially because the red-carded players are back, except from Shisha. I really feel for him. I was hoping that it's a 2-match suspension, but now apparently FIFA has decided that it's a 3-match suspension. I was really hoping that he'll be able to participate in the last 32. But I know our boys, because they love him that much, they're going to make sure that they qualify for the last 16. And guess what? I really am hoping that we'll get to the last 8. It's very possible. When we look at the teams that we're going to play, we really think we'll make it into the last 8. And by the way, the last 16, we might be playing Morocco, and I'm very confident that we'll beat them.
I like that confidence, Keletso. And if Bafana pull it off, not if, when, I think we can start dreaming really special at this World Cup. So thank you so much, and always a pleasure. And hopefully we'll catch up with you again on Africa at Play. Thank you for sharing your World Cup insights with us. Your fingers, I know, are crossed, legs even crossed.
You should have seen me on Thursday. You know when they said 6 minutes added on,
Oh.
My heart beat.
Me too. I hear you.
Like I really didn't want. I didn't want them to mess it up for us because we were to spoil it for us because we are really there and we're already seeing ourselves in the last 32. And I was grateful. The African gods looked after us and made sure that we get into the next round, which is last 32. Especially because people had written us off. Losing to Mexico, like people thought, what are they doing here? And you know what? When we made on the 18th, making sure that we keep Czechia and then we draw with them. I think winning this one was just a cherry on top, and quite excited. But like I say, all the African countries, I'm really proud. I mean, it has just shown that African football has grown. Senegal, Cabo Verde, I'm so proud of them. Cote d'Ivoire, I really, really think that all the teams that are there, except for Tunisia, it really didn't work out for them. But the rest of the team are holding themselves and well and very confident when they get onto the field. And I think that's one thing about confidence. If you are confident, nothing will ever stand in your way. And I can see with the African players, very, very confident. And I'm really hoping that, Morocco, the previous tournaments, they went up to the semifinals. And again, they've actually shown up. They are really doing well. And all the African teams are representing our continent extremely well. And I'm super proud of being an African.
That's SABC Head of Sport, Keletso Totlhanyo, joining us as we continue to ride the wave of the FIFA World Cup excitement. We've got more World Cup conversation and African sports stories still to come. Don't go anywhere.
Africa Matters Minute.
What is missing is definitely accountability. And in our experience, really, lawsuits has been a way of bringing some accountability, both for governments that should hold particularly